Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you very much.
It is such a pleasure to have you here in the studio, and I should start by apologizing because I think I've been pronouncing your name wrong this whole time. It is Lauren Segal, not Segal.
No problem. It's a very, very common mistake.
So tell me about yourself. Let's start with learning a bit about you. You're new to our audiences here at Classic 107. How did you get started in opera?
I actually took a very rare route. I did my postgraduate or my graduate degrees in physics. And at the same time, I was always studying music, always loved music. And I got to a point where I was either going to do my PhD in physics or study opera full time. And here I am.
How do those two come together? Explain that to me.
I just think I love them both. I had passions for both of them. And I just explored until I had to choose. And then I just explored the one.
Well, we're very glad that you did.
Thank you.
The physics world might not be as happy, but we are happy that you did.
Thank you very much.
You've had a wonderful career up until now. You've sung some of the, biggest characters up until, we'll talk about Charlotte and Werther, but what have been some of your favorites?
I think Carmen is one of my favorites, and Charlotte now as well. They're both French, actually, which I think is wonderful. And they just have very wonderful characters. The music is full and passionate, and you can just give everything to them. And so, those would be two of my favorite roles.
So let's talk about Charlotte a bit and tell me about her character and what the appeal is of her.
She's a very duty-bound woman, young woman, who the whole opera is her struggle between her duty to her dying mother. On her mother's deathbed, she asked her to marry Albert, and of course she said yes, I will. And then in the meantime, she meets Werther, falls in love with Werther, but does her very best to resist him because of this duty-bound wish of her mother. And so the opera is about the struggle between her duty and her passions. And she's a very noble character. She's very elegant, but she has this constant struggle. And as the opera goes on, you see the struggle, and you see it within the drama and the music. And it gets more and more passionate and more beautiful and rich and full. And it's wonderful playing such a character and to play those shadows and those different shades within her, and it's a joy to sing.
What I've been telling listeners is that this opera, Werther by Massenet, with the music of Massenet, is what opera was invented for.
Yeah, I would say so. Very good description.
It's that kind of story that is just
it's full and romantic and
and tragic.
Yes, so tragic.
So how fun is that for you and the rest of the cast?
It's great. It's something we can really bite into and just relish and enjoy. And of course we have to be thinking about the music and we have to be thinking about all of the technical things. But once that's all settled, we can just go in there and just tell this amazing story that just is beautiful and breaks our hearts.
It is heartbreaking.
It really is, yeah.
So what do you see for yourself in the future? What would you like to do still?
Well, I would love for Werther to be done more often. It's not a very frequently performed piece. And I don't quite understand why, because it has all these amazing elements to it. And the audience, at least on Saturday night for our opening night, were so drawn into it. And I heard many people talking about goosebumps and how the drama, they were so enthralled with what was going on. So I would just love for Werther to be done more often, and I'd love to sing this role again and again. Singing Carmen more and more as well. So just more of those, just more singing and more performing, and that's what I love to do.
You've performed in so many places around the world. Do you find a difference in audiences?
I suppose so, but I think the main thing is you just want to make them, audiences want to be drawn to another place and to be taken somewhere and be taken on this experience. And I find that's just the most amazing thing is you go and you don't see all these faces judging you. You see all these faces wanting an experience and wanting to support and wanting to be part of something. And it's very exciting.
Do you have a particular favorite scene in Werther?
I'd have to say Act 3, which is the scene where Charlotte has been married to Albert for about 6 months now. And it's Christmas Eve, and she had told Werther to go away and come back on Christmas Eve, and she's waiting to hear from him. And the act starts off with her reading letters that he has written to her. And it's this beautiful letter aria where she's reading how sad he is. And she's devastated by this. And she's slowly admitting her love for him and how full her heart is for him. And she's just devastated by everything that's happened. And it starts there, and it just gets more and more passionate. So you can just imagine. So I'd say Act 3 is my favorite.
Well, that's a perfect way to end. So let's hear that aria. Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you.